GCSE Revision Probability Part 1 5 questions with answers. GCSE Probability Revision Questions. This video contains 5 revision questions. Each question is immediately followed by a worked-through answer and explanation of how the marks are awarded. You can obtain a download of just the questions in a PDF from the link in the description below the video. It is not necessary to use a calculator for these questions. The questions in this video are foundation level and are in the style of exam questions, although they are not actual exam questions. Each question will be displayed for 15 seconds before an answer is given. This will give you time to pause the video so that you can work on the question before checking your answer. Here is a probability scale. Write the letter that matches each probability word. The first one has been done for you. If something is certain, then it will be bound to happen, so it has a probability of 1. This means that the letter that matches certain is E. If something is unlikely, then it is less likely to happen than not to happen, so it has a probability of less than 0.5. So the letter that matches unlikely is B. If something is likely, then it is more likely to happen than not to happen, so it has a probability of more than 0.5. So the letter that matches likely is D. If something is impossible, then it is never going to happen, so it has a probability of 0. So the letter that matches impossible is A. If you had less than 2 letters correct, you gain 0 marks. If you had 2 or 3 letters correct, you gain 1 mark. If you had all 4 letters correct, you gain 2 marks. A fair spinner has 10 sections. Label the scale with the letters A, B, C in the correct position to show the probability of landing on that letter. There are 2 sections labelled with the letter A, so there is a 2/10 chance of the spinner landing on the letter A. There are 3 sections labelled with the letter B, so there is a 3/10 chance of the spinner landing on the letter B. There are 5 sections labelled with the letter C, so there is a 5/10 chance of the spinner landing on the letter C. 1 mark for 1 correct label, 1 mark for a second correct label, 1 mark for a third correct label. Use a suitable word from the list to complete the following sentences. Rolling a 3 on a fair ordinary 6-sided die is. Rolling a 0 on a fair ordinary 6-sided die is. There is a 1/6 chance of rolling a 3, which means it is less likely to roll the 3 than not, so it is unlikely to roll a 3. There is no 0 on the die, so it is impossible to roll a 0. Score 1 mark for saying rolling a 3 is unlikely. Score 1 mark for saying rolling a 0 is impossible. A cafe has the following special offer: a biscuit and a drink, or a slice of cake and a drink for £3. How many combinations are there? Each drink can be combined with a biscuit or a slice of cake. There are 6 combinations of drinks and biscuits. There are 6 combinations of drinks and cake. This makes 12 combinations altogether. You score 1 mark for showing appropriate workings. You score 1 mark for the correct answer. If for your workings you listed the combinations, then you score 1 mark for 6 or more correct combinations. Tea digestive, tea-rich tea, coffee digestive, coffee-rich tea, hot chocolate digestive, hot chocolate-rich tea, tea chocolate cake, tea jam sponge cake, coffee chocolate cake, coffee jam sponge cake, hot chocolate chocolate cake, hot chocolate and jam sponge cake. A cafe has the following special offer: a biscuit and a drink, or a slice of cake and a drink for £3. All of the combinations are equally popular. A customer is chosen at random. What is the probability that the customer has chocolate cake? The chocolate cake can be combined with each of the 3 drinks, so there are 3 combinations involving chocolate cake. This means that there is a 3/12 chance of a customer having chocolate cake. In simplest form, this is 1/4. You score 1 mark for calculating the correct probability, score another mark for simplest fraction, or correct decimal or percentage. Possible answers are 1/4, 25%, or 0.25. A cafe has the following special offer: a biscuit and a drink, or a slice of cake and a drink for £3. All of the combinations are equally popular. The cafe serves 180 customers. How many slices of chocolate cake do they expect to serve? It is expected that 1/4 of the customers will have chocolate cake. Quarter of 180 is 45, so they expect to serve 45 slices of chocolate cake. You score 1 mark for correct workings. You score 1 mark for the correct answer. A fair 10-sided spinner has its sections colored red, green, and blue. The spinner is spun 50 times. Write down the relative frequency of the spinner landing on blue. The spinner landed on blue in 17 of the 50 spins, so the relative frequency of the result being blue is 17/50ths, which 17/50ths is the same as 0.34 or 34%. You score 1 mark for the correct answer, 17/50ths or 0.34 or 34%. A fair 10-sided spinner has its sections colored red, green, and blue. The spinner is spun 50 times. Work out the most likely number of sections of each color. For red, 11 divided by 50 times 10 equals 11/5 equals 2.2. So most likely number of red sections is 2. For green, 22 divided by 50 times 10 equals 22 divided by 5 equals 4.4. So the most likely number of green sections is 4. For blue, 10 take away 4 plus 2 added together is 4. So the most likely number of blue sections is 4. Score 1 mark for showing appropriate calculations. Score 1 mark for correct integer answers. Red equals 2, green equals 4, blue equals 4, or red equals 2, green equals 5, and blue equals 3. Credits: Content Brendan Hegarty, narration Brendan Hegarty.